Welcome to Kung Fu Hot Dog, your high-energy vampire who performs magic tricks like this.
Spread your wings and fly. God be with you.
Fly, my friend, fly!
How do you balance creative freedom and remaining true to the original? Everyone's answer is somewhat different, but for Konami, staying faithful was the top priority with Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, the remake of the 2004 stealth action game that was led by Hideo Kojima.
Oh, the good old days, folks, of video gaming, right? We all miss those days, don't we? And I think it's just great that Konami has decided just to... I don't know, just, we don't have Hideo anymore. We fired him because we didn't like what he was doing with Phantom Pain, the final chapter for his Metal Gear Solid series. But look, I mean, the buzz around this remake, it's not even a remaster, it's a complete remake, is something to be applauded. And of course, folks, if you haven't played Snake Eater or own the HD collection, which I highly recommend, you know it's got the best non-Bond 007 song ever. The best non-Bond James Bond song ever. And without further ado, folks, let's get on with today's video. Ooh.
This microfilm contains all the information regarding the legacy. You might say that this film itself is the philosopher's legacy.
Kung Fu Hot Dog, you rock.
The name's Nukem. Duke Nukem.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Come get some. Relive the 80s and 90s with Kung Fu Hot Dog.
So as reported by Pirate Nation, the Snake Eater Metal Gear Solid Delta reviews are in. I mean, look, that is a pretty impressive score right there, courtesy of Metacritic. I mean, generally very favorable, right? I think that's fantastic. In a era, folks, where video games are costing more, we're getting less, they're too open world. I like the linear experience from the noughties going onward, right? But now it's just all bloated, garbled, DEI. Oh, we're going to give you very unattractive female characters here because we're protecting women and girls, all that bloody bullshit. So here are the reviews, folks, for Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater from Metacritic. We think they're actually a better source of gaining the critical acclaim of a video game such as this. Shack News: did everything age here well? Of course, they're talking about the very famous peep demo in the game, which you can still access, which I think is hilarious. Heck no. It's still a long-winded exposition bomb at multiple points. Absolutely. But that was the beauty of the Hideo Kojima games. This is why Neil Druckmann struggles to even be a quarter of the man that Hideo is, because Hideo saw the future with these early video games of Metal Gear Solid. But if you're here because of the original, I want you to know that everything in the OG Snake Eater that might have made you happy, sad, or mad are still here. All of the action, all of the stealth, all of the cheesy one-liners. For those of you who are jumping in for the first time, have some patience. I mean, again, it's like harkening back to the original games. If you didn't know what to expect, you would feel a bit angsty and anxious. But again, the beauty of those games, they taught you how to stealth very quietly. It's not about run and gun. It's just about planning your moves. Unlike these Splinter Cell games, which I love so much, by the way, as Sam Fisher, you can still, there's still a great element of stealth in those video games for Splinter Cell. That's kind of what they're built on, their foundation. But I get what this guy was saying, because obviously Metal Gear Solid has been around since 1987, if I'm not mistaken. Around that time, Game Liner, as opposed to Gay Eyeliner, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater respects the original, but enhances it with modern QOL upgrades and stunning visuals. quality of life, that's what I meant. Thanks to the choice between legacy and new style, it plays smoothly for both veterans and newcomers. Video chums who like bums takes an already awesome game and enhances it in profound ways that will impress everyone from newcomers to longtime fans. It does such a phenomenal job that I wish every remake could retain this true yet be this innovative, because it's Virtuos Studios that were responsible for remaking the game actually. Again, PSX Brazil, Snake Eater is a fantastic game because the title it's based on is splendid. Konami offers excellent graphics in this new version, which again, if you saw the pachinko machines, that's what these graphics reminds me of. I think Konami sat back and they heard this feedback, like how come these pachinko machines and people who walked into a Japanese arcade, filmed this thing, uploaded it on YouTube. It must have prompted them to think, hey, you know what, we can make some more money now, actually forget those machines, just actually give the people what they want on a physical gaming disc. And I certainly hope when you buy the disc, the game is on the disc, that you don't have to download it. I would actually give Konami points for that. The only problem here is that there was room to modernize elements of the original game while still maintaining respect for the work, but the developer decided to play safe. This means that if you're expecting something different from what you've known for 20 years, you'll still be disappointed. But there's room to modernize elements. What do you mean? Eva being less scantily dressed on a motorcycle, straddling her leg on that motorcycle? Get out of here, man. Come on. I hope you're not talking about that. Mary Station. Although not as daring as Silent Hill 2, I don't know why we're comparing those, Metal Gear Solid Delta is just as good. Again, not as daring. So again, the modern Silent Hill 2 from Team Blueber in Poland, who decided to give Angela Orozco complete rehaul in the worst possible way, are they implying that the Virtuos Studios should have done the same thing with Metal Gear Solid Delta? Come on, give me a break. Another remake worthy of its legacy, only let down by the AI and some animations. Okay, well, that's par for the course these days, I guess. Spazio Games, Delta is a remake that walks a tightrope between admiration and routine. It takes your breath away when you traverse the jungle as Snake, yet it constantly reminds you that you are experiencing something already seen, merely dressed in new lights and polygons. Konami has done an impeccable job technically, but without Kojima's wild touch, everything remains predictable, elegant, yet lacking the spark that made the original an unforgettable experience, which I think is it's a very silly review score, 83, even though it's quite reasonable and almost admirable. But Hideo would not, if he were working with Konami today, would he be on board for a remake? I don't think so, because Hideo's philosophy, I would imagine, and I don't know the guy, but he would say, bro, I've already made the game. Why do I need to remake it for? Let me make an extended brand new sequel or another chapter in this long-running franchise. That's what he would do, not a remake. I mean, if I ever see Hideo doing a remake of a game from Sony in the future, which he wouldn't have to do because the Death Stranding games are so future-proofed, you don't have to remake them anyway. So again, that Spazio Games review I think is a bit silly, but I'm really glad to see that this is actually doing really well in terms of reaction from the critics. Again, if you look at the Steam DB chart right here, and proof of the pudding that I am looking at Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, here are the latest stats. So 23 in the top sellers list, number 17 in the wish lists, and nearly 74,000 followers, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Are there any screenshots here? Look at that. That's really good. So that's the image I'm thinking of that you can see on the pachinko machine arcade game footage in a Japanese video game arcade. Screenshots look fantastic, actually. They really do. They look really, well, as you'd expect. I mean, there's not 4K captures, but you get the gist, and this looks fantastic. I can't wait to pick this up, but I hope, again, you know, when I do pick it up, the game is already on the disc. I don't want this bullshit of, hey, you know what, we're just going to make sure you just download so you don't actually own the game.
Some of the best moments in the entire series. Even twerps like Ocelot earn his respect through a rivalry with Snake that has its own little story arc.
That's major Ocelot to you.
And aside
You're
from the
goddamn
boss,
right.
Ava remains one of my favorite characters in the series, stealing every scene she's in and playing an important role of an agent you can't get a read on until the very end.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
For as much flack as Metal Gear may get for its lengthy cinematics, Snake Eater is a focus story told at a fairly brisk pace.
I don't know if this IGN reviewer is like me and appreciates good-looking hot women, especially, I mean, have a look at this. Oh my gosh, folks, I'm just getting the shivers here. Look at that. Look at Eva. Holy moly. I mean, that, ladies and gentlemen, that's how you give us a beautiful ladies and gentlemen, that's how you give us a beautiful female, not this slop that was given to us by the people from Obsidian and that stupid new Outer Worlds 2 game. Who wants to play that?
And no, you can't sleep with them.
A modern gaming audience.
When you can play this again and again. And by the way, to unlock the peep mode in Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater Delta, you have to play this game 4 times before you get to unlock that specific, shall we say, camera angled gameplay. It's worth the time. Trust me, I should know, but oh God. Anyway, folks, if you ended up enjoying this video today, like I certainly did, make sure you give it a like, smash that subscribe button, and if I were you and if you were me, you should hold your gun like Eva does compared to silly Matt Damon in The Bourne Identity, and I'll catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
But the character of Snake in that one is Big Boss before he becomes Big Boss. And so while Solid Snake was always kind of beat down and he was already tired of being a legend by the time the first game started, Big Boss was he was young and he was enthusiastic and he still believed in things and he hadn't had the heartbeat out of him yet. And so there's a little more drive, there's a little more joy there to play the character. And I think that also maybe inspired people a little bit more.